my name is Janice Rojas. This video, I'll be describing the therapeutic recreation facilitation technique of yoga, which helps an individual to address the overload of stressors for stress management. During this video, you will not only learn a definition of stress management, but you also will understand the history and description and purpose of yoga. I'll be also explaining the effectiveness of the intervention of 3 different populations. One of the main reasons why I chose stress management to be one of my topics to talk about is mainly because I know a lot of us go through daily life stress. It can either be caused because of work, because of school, because of people, or because of certain daily situations that we encounter. And the reason why I chose yoga as a recreation facilitation technique is mainly because I don't really know much about yoga until I started reading more about it in this book. And also because a lot of people, my doctor has recommended yoga for me, mainly because I am pregnant and I can't do any other exercise for now. Yoga is recommended to help me relieve some stress that I'm going through some pregnancy, and also it allows me to understand exactly what it can do for your body in different situations. If you're going through stress because of anxiety, because of depression, or any other disease or disabilities, it can help out. So what I'd like to get started is defining what stress is. Stress is defined in the book, is identified as a noun meaning pressure or tension extended to a material object. Stress is a verb and is an action of subjecting to pressure and tension. The RT facilitation of yoga, according to Martha B. and John D. authors of Chapter 13, defined it as the oldest and most complete system tradition and personal development that focuses on the mind, body, and spirit. Yoga goes as far back as 5,000 years ago in northern India, where the Indus civilization was where yoga was developed. The word yoga was first mentioned in sacred texts, which was called Rig Veda. And throughout the years, yoga kept changing and adapting to different techniques. Patanjali was considered father of yoga. At that time, it was very important to practice yoga consistently with devotion and faith for a long time to be able to build a stable foundation for spiritual progress. Many yoga masters after the century of Patanjali, they started to create different systems that practices and aims to rejuvenate the body and prolong in life. Yoga helps to cleanse the body and mind and to break knots that bind us to our physical existence. After doing a couple research of what benefits, like how does yoga benefit stress management, I read something from Beth Shaw, which is the founder and president from Yoga Fit Training System in Torrance, California. She said one of the main purposes of yoga during stress management is that it benefits and it decreases the stress and tensions. It allows you to increase strength and balance. It also focuses on your flexibility. It lowers your blood pressure and reduces cholesterol levels. Next, I'll be talking about some theoretical foundations that can relate to the value of stress management interventions. It is usually based on the knowledge of the body's response in stress. There are theories that has some negative effect of stress on the body and mind, usually depends on that certain individual. There are 2 different theories that we can go ahead and look at. Some are the physiological disruptions due to stress and the analytical introspection. To begin, for the physiological disruption, Due to stress, the body responds to an acute alarm and chronic vigilance. What is acute alarm exactly? It is basically the fight or flight short-term response. It begins at the region of the brain. So once this starts, you're experiencing an acute alarm. This begins to increase your heart rate. It shoots your blood sugar levels highly up. Your pupils widen, and your breath becomes harder. Your breathing becomes harder. Your adrenal glands release caffeine, which causes the brain to release endorphins and decrease the body sensitivity to pain. With everything in your body that it's going through, you become in a state of chronic acute alarm. Basically, this neglects the bodily functions and allows the immune system to weaken, which makes your body vulnerable to previous injury areas. The second bodily function of physiological disruption due to stress is chronic vigilance. In the book Chronic Vigilance, Response to Stress, described that it allows the body to respond to a long-term persistent danger. Just like physiological disruption, you experience changes in your body. The chronic vigilance starts through the cortisols, which gives you an irritable and hyper alertness. It elevates your blood pressure. You lose potassium and magnesium. You also lose essential minerals. It increases your cholesterol and fat in the bloodstreams. It suppresses sex hormones and increases gastric acid. Some of the effects that are caused because of your body is experience chest pain. Some of the effects that can cause and what you experience in your body is chest pains, fatigue, stomach pains, sleeping problems, muscle tension, and even headaches. So moving on to the second theory, we're going to talk about analytical introspection. It allows people to control their thoughts and emotion with reflection. Jacobson, who was one that proposes it says that if a physical tension can be removed with physical relaxation technique, the emotion tension can also be removed. So these are basically, I have so far described the history, the description, the purpose of facilitation, and the theological foundations of the facilitation techniques for yoga. The next thing that I'll be describing is the effectiveness of interventions, which are 3 different populations I chose. The first population that I'll be talking about is using yoga in a certain age between 18 to 55. So yoga, as you know, is one of the most effective techniques for stress management. It helps reduce anxiety and depression, pain reduction, mood disorders. It also helps with physical performance, learning, and cardiovascular function. One activity that I chose to talk